This is your captain speaking. Welcome to Max Wrestling episode 395, along with the reigning Max Wrestling television champion, Moses Marquez.
Top of the morning, 395. We are 5 away from 400. God damn, it's coming quick.
The big 400. You know, there's one thing I'm looking forward to the most about the 400th episode.
Oh,
When we did the 300th episode, we got a bunch of former guests and stuff to send us some videos. God love him, Evan Money McCabe did one, and he celebrated our 400th episode for the 300th, so I'm going to use that video again, because now it is
beautiful.
400.
Beautiful. He planned ahead, he did. He planned ahead.
Planned ahead. He saw the future. He knew we were going to get to 400.
He saw the future. That's my favorite one right now. He saw the future.
Coming up tonight, Extreme Rules predictions, more turmoil in AEW's locker room as they celebrate 3 years, and NXT parking lots remains the most dangerous, yet least guarded place on earth.
Fucking A right. Don't go to NXT and hang out in the parking lot.
Before we begin, remember to like and follow and sub on youtube.com/MaxWrestling and follow us on social media at MaxWrestlingUK. Now, I was going to kick things off with Extreme Rules predictions as a headliner, but I think there's a bigger elephant in the room, so let's kick things off with the AEW Fight Club.
Fucking AEW Fight Club started and apparently ran by fucking goddamn Sammy Guevara. Of all the people in the world, Sammy.
Now we know what Shane O'Mac's doing.
Dude, what is
Dynamite
gone
Underground?
He's all mad. He's like, shit, look at the revenue they're making. But like in all reality, when the fuck did Sammy I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be some listeners that are like, he's already a dickhead. I was just gonna say, like, when did he become a dickhead? But like seriously, when did he become such a dickhead? Is it really after he married Tay? Like, because I can't think of any other reason. And he's been a fucking piece of shit.
He's certainly developed an ego, that's for sure. But I mean, there's a couple of things that are kind of admirable. I mean, he was defending AEW's turf, which props to him.
Yeah, that's one. Andrade is trying to get fired.
Yeah, there's that too. Like, he's made it very clear he wants out. And
yeah,
apparently, I know you're a Dave Meltzer guy. Uncle Dave says Sammy did nothing wrong.
Well,
which, considering the fact that he was still on Dynamite and in the main event, leads me to believe.
Okay, here's my beef, and I was listening to Uncle Dave this morning, and when he said that, I got a weird look on my face. I said, "Huh?" Because here's the gimmick. Who did everybody blame for the Punk and Bucks situation? They blame the Bucks. They blame Kenny for barging into his room and this and that and that and this. And when it came back, it was a totally different ball game. But the fact of the matter is if we're going to be getting mad at people for talking shit and starting problems, then we need to get mad at Sammy. I'm a Sammy guy. I've said it for fucking as many years as I had a microphone in front of my face. I've been a Sammy guy. I've seen his rise from the independent scene through AAA to here. Impact when he got turned down from NXT, the whole everything. I know Sammy, not know him, but you know what I mean. Like I've been there for the guy for so fucking long, but it's ridiculous. Like who in the fuck do you think you are to be talking to people? Like I understand the turf thing or whatever, the blah 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 blah, but like it's a Twitter thing. And now all of a sudden I mean, it started with Eddie Kingston. Like as the man Rob said in TSK last night, you fucked with two of the realest cats on that roster. Andrade don't give a shit. He's trying to get fired, so he's gonna hit you, and he's not gonna care. And then you somehow escaped Eddie Kingston. Somehow escaped him. Probably because Eddie no-sold the fuck out of the whole thing, but still, it's with Punk and the Bucks and Kenny, they're gone and there's been nothing since, but yet this is 2 incidents of backstage altercations for one guy, and he's had a main event last night. I was excited. I totally forgot about the 15-minute overrun. I was like, they're cutting the match. They're cutting the fucking overrun. And I'm like, but I'm not saying why are we like I have to say it like that. Why is he being rewarded for starting shit?
Ah, honestly, I can't really point the finger at who started it. Neither of them really did themselves any favors. Sammy probably did escalate things by going maybe too far on Twitter.
Yeah, people
But
take fucking social media a tad seriously, bud. Especially
oh
grown
yeah,
men.
especially with wrestling because it's so difficult to know what's a work and what's not.
Seriously.
Especially when you got MJF, fucking
Yeah,
heel
that guy does.
24/7.
Jesus. Well, I don't know. Fucking heel 24/7, tease the fuck out of baby face. He sold it a couple of weeks ago, making you think he could be a baby face without a problem. I mean, but regardless, but still, it's like, is he going to be, can he be reprimanded? Is there going to be a talking to? Like, has TK even said anything yet? Is he going to say anything?
Well, like we kind of consider Mox, Bryan, and Jericho as like the leaders of the locker room. So you would think, like, if Sammy really was in the wrong, Jericho should have said something like, "Sammy's his boy."
Yeah, yeah, maybe, yeah, maybe. No, you're probably
Um,
right. You're probably right.
and also they did the little either they don't give a shit or they know what they're doing, and just capitalizing on controversy because they did the whole Tranquilo pose too and everything.
Oh yeah, but fuck, man. I mean, I get it that he wants out, like, but like, come on, dude. Like, I don't think his contract's that long.
If I was
Actually,
to hazard a guess, I'd say 2, 3 years.
here's my guess. Best case scenario, his contract is up, say in January. Best
Yeah,
case scenario, it's up in January, where he ain't trying to wait till January.
right. I get it. You know, being frustrated. He hasn't really done a whole lot in AEW, but he has been on TV, and like he's only been in the company 18 months, and there's a lot of guys coming in that time. Not everybody's going to get pushed to the main event right away.
Let me ask you this fun question. How big was his push in WWE?
NXT, great. Main roster, shit.
Like, there you go. So, like, you're getting frustrated because you're in a place with a blown up roster, okay, and you have not been able to catch momentum. Is it because of a lack of a push? Yes. Is it because of a lack of gold? Probably. But then again, this company, they don't want a hot potato belts. You know what I mean? Belt doesn't make the man makes the belt. That's how they look at it. It's an old school manner, and that's one of the good things about AEW.
Yeah.
But he's in a good trios, or he had a good trios, or he can get a trios back. He can work with other people. There's things he can do. So I get the frustration. But then again, I look at him like I look at some of the other guys, and it's like, you would not be my top guy, and
Yeah.
it's not a disrespectful manner. If I ran a company and if I had an IC division, there you go. Hey, I don't mind making you like an upper mid card guy. You know what I mean? Make my belts look great. You know what I mean? But yeah, you're gonna get a world title for a little bit, sure, but not right now, not anytime soon.
Yeah, and I hate to play this card, but there is a language barrier. He's not the best English talker. Actually, he can barely speak a lick of English.
Yeah, it's his not his dialect, is his fucking goddamn accent. His accent is
And
so
very,
fucking
very thick.
thick. So fucking thick.
And it shouldn't be an issue, but it is in today's climate of pro wrestling.
Yeah, I'm sorry, well, no, no, I was gonna try to spin it in a different manner, but the reality is let's take a look let's take a look at somebody who's maybe not as in-ring talented, but he can be MJF. Why is that guy way more over than Andrade? because all of his promos can be understood fully and they have a true impact. And I apologize because I am of the culture. Okay? But if you gotta try to learn English, dude. You gotta try to learn English.
As bad as that sounds, like how many times have we seen a Spanish wrestler or Bulgarian, Russian, whatever, trying to cut a promo and the fans are just like, what?
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 I mean, Marcel Bartel for a while, his thick old German accent was so bad. I remember his NXT run. People would just want I was in the building.
Yeah.
I could barely understood what he said. His shit was so thick.
Even Shinsuke's had the what treatments. And his English isn't really that bad.
It's not. And it's improved. But that's the thing. It's improved. Fucking, I'm thinking of Pentagon's got better English than you, bro. Okay? And he has no business knowing English. Okay? My man Pentagon has no business knowing English. He got better English than you. Phoenix got better English than you. Like, I'm sorry. In America, bro, I hate to say it like that. But it's the truth. If we can't understand you, we can't get behind you. Now in AAA, you're the fucking dog. You're the man. I give fucking, you know what I mean? Belt him up. But we're not south of the border, my man. Sorry.
And there's only so many promos you can do with subtitles.
Not only subtitles, but you know, well, you know what? The thing I'm not bringing in, and the thing that I'm sure there's somebody yelling right now, that probably a Brock fan. Get him a manager. Get him. Why is buff ass Jose not talking?
Right.
Why is the BAJ just there? Why does this motherfucker have a nickname but don't talk?
He's the assistant. How the fuck does he assist? What does he do?
What does he do? I'm gonna look just as jacked as you in the background. For what? For what?
You're not an assistant. You're decoration.
He is 1,000% decoration. 1,000%. That's the problem. Again, look at fucking homeboy with Pentagon and Phoenix. He is basically their translator. They would cut an entire promo in Spanish and he would translate it. Why don't you and then that got him over? Why don't you do that and get the BAJ over? And then maybe then, well, hey, well, fucking come on, can we push Andrade? You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck he said, but he said what he said, and I believe what he said, and I can understand what he said. And yes, maybe it's not just a Brock Lesnar. I'm sure there was plenty of stars back in the day with managers to get world titles, and that could have worked for him. But if you're this disgruntled and every little thing's gonna make you throw blows, I don't know. Go be Pac and go hang out at home for a while.
If you want an example, the new Welcome to Wrexham series that's airing right now with Rob and Ryan Reynolds is obviously based in my hometown, and the people that are from my town speak with pretty much the same dialect and accent that I do, and they speak perfect English, but there's always subtitles when they speak. I don't know if they do it on FX, but they do on Disney Plus, and they're speaking perfect English, but there's always subtitles.
It's
like we're speaking English.
What you want to make sure you know.
Okay, there's a couple of Welsh words thrown in there, but there's always a translation.
It's just that's fucking hilarious. It's like, but they're speaking English. It's okay.
Yeah, but they don't pronounce the T's, so we got to put the subtitles.
Oh yeah, so it should make you listen better. Okay, that's, you know what I mean. Listen better. If you can listen from people from different dialects, maybe he wouldn't be that big of a fucking problem.
I mean, I'll be honest. I always have subtitles on when they're available anyway, and I can hear perfectly well. I just like to read just in case I misheard something. It's just a habit. But
guilty as charged.
Like you look away. Wait, what happened? Oh, okay.
Right, or I could read real quick. Oh shit, and then do whatever I was doing. It's nice, you know. Sometimes you can get caught up reading real quick. You know what I mean? Speed read.
The most useless subtitle of all is brackets silence.
Oh yeah, silence or inaudible.
Just don't put anything.
Yeah, for real. Like, come on.
If it's silent, you don't need to tell me it's silent.
No sound.
Especially if I was deaf, I couldn't hear anything anyway, so I'd know it was silent.
Well, I'd be, you know what? I'm over here shouldn't talk for them, but I'd be hella mad. Be like, why are you gonna tell me no sound? I know there's no sound.
I'm personally insulted by this.
Like,
I feel personally attacked.
I'm calling Amazon right now. I want a refund.
Inaudible. Exactly. That's why the subtitles are on.
Oh, we're off on a rant
Um,
already. Let's ride.
we ran right off the rails with this one. But there's obviously two sides to this story, and it's just crazy how Sammy's gone from super popular, this kid's gonna be huge, to fuck you, Sammy chance on Dynamite.
Seriously, I mean, yeah, he went from the young star to well, we kind of have to hate him, and then like the way they pushed him, he's a total dickhead, and but okay, to you're getting literal heat.
Yeah,
Like,
and when you boil it down, he's getting literal heat for defending the company. Maybe not in the best way,
yeah.
but
But then again, to garner a fuck you, Sammy chant in Washington, D.C., not in Philly, not in Chicago, not in L.A., New York, in D.C.,
and it
like,
wasn't even a huge crowd.
that's what I'm saying. Ugh, bro,
Like, it
you're in
took me
some
a while
hot
to figure
water.
out where they were because it was such a shrunken down
But
set
I
and
like
everything.
that. That was the I don't know.
It was
I
nice.
was
It was
love
nice and intimate.
exactly nice and intimate. Well, that was where they originally. That was where the first Dynamite aired. You know,
Yeah,
third year in a row, they're gonna make it a thing, which is cool. But yeah, it's a small little building, maybe like 7,000 people or something. I don't know.
yeah. And even though it was small, it was full.
Oh, packed house.
All right then. Speaking of people talking shit, it's time for stupid shit people say online, and we're not including Sammy and Andrade in this one. It's shit Mark say.
Shocker.
OMG, Kevin Nash.
Who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?
Tell me you did not just say that.
WTF, thought he was dead, LOL.
Has any? It feels like a redundant question now. Has anybody been running their mouth on TikTok?
At this point, no. Like the thing with TikTok, or pause. Let me stop with that. The thing I've learned after my re-dive into TikTok after my long hiatus is it went from back and forth bashing to people can actually have opinions and talk about them. And I'm
Imagine
like,
that.
what the fuck's going on here, bud? What the fuck's going on here? You know, this is a new magical place that's actually kind of it's good. You know, there's some strong opinions, you know what I mean? There's but nobody's it went from being you don't agree with me, so you're a piece of shit, you're this, you're a mark, you're a da 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 to okay, but why? Like, can explain to me why? You know, like what was one of the, oh god, I fucking delve into it. I started scrolling through the comments, and one of the questions I was asked by I think her name's Wheezy Blonde was she was talking. Oh, they no pause, not her. Suplex. One of the guys. He's actually really funny. He literally brought up the exact thing we just talked about. Like he was like, "So you're telling me this guy's starting all these fights, but night one of Punk and this guy, you know, no big deal." Yeah, it totally makes sense. And then the fucking comment thread was just ripping, but nobody was like, "Oh, he's a piece of shit, fire him." They were just like, "Okay, but what really happened?" That was and again, that's the shocking thing. That's what's happening with. I don't want to say all this fucking wrestling social media, but at least wrestling TikTok, or at least the
Yeah.
side of wrestling TikTok I'm on, for that matter. There's always the good and the bad side of TikTok. I tell you what, but it's refreshing, but that's, you know what I mean? That's the hot topic immediately today. Everybody's on that shit. Everybody's on that shit. So,
All right. Well, first up, I finally got into it with somebody again. Haven't done it for a long time.
let's go.
This week we have apparently Vince's accountant.
He's got all the bread,
Um,
huh? Oh, he knows all the stacks and the racks and the facts.
like the original post was actually from 2 weeks ago, but this guy piped up this week. So the original post was pretty much somebody on Twitter saying Roman Reigns is the biggest draw of all time. And I was just like, really, of all time?
I mean,
Maybe the biggest draw right now, but
of this era, sure.
like I made a point that they were pulling in like 7 million viewers every single week 20 years ago. They don't get that now. They get like 2 million.
If that. If that.
Um, and Vince's accountant wanted to make it more about revenue rather than like viewership and ticket sales, which, okay. So I was like,
can't do it.
so are they selling out buildings every week like they were 20 years ago, or are they closing half the arena most weeks? Which is there. There is where he brings it into like the whole business, not just ticket sales. So he's just getting bigger and bigger thinking now.
Big money, son. Okay.
And what did they draw more money doing? First of all, like business deals is not a draw. Draw is when you draw in fans.
Draw is your attendance. Thank you.
It's almost like you have no business education whatsoever. Imagine that. To which I replied,
Okay.
well,
Okay.
12,000 tickets draw more money than 8,000 tickets. It's almost like you have no math education whatsoever. Imagine that.
All right. You're a mathematician.
Then he brings up a bunch of like reported profits and losses and revenues and all this shit.
Fucking suck a duck.
I don't give a shit. Ah, man. So his final comment before I replied and then just blocked him because I couldn't handle the guy anymore. It's not experience in wrestling or an education in business, things that might help you understand business decisions about pro wrestling, but even someone like yourself can follow that. So my final comment was right, and they've been increasing their revenue for years, including when Roman was getting booed out of every building despite being pushed as the face of the company. The OP never said WWE is making more money now than ever. Everybody knows they are.
Exactly.
Are you maintaining it's because of one guy that's finally over after 5 years of being spoon-fed every opportunity? Or could it be because they've made better business decisions, more charity work, movies, more celebrity connections? Like, nobody's denying WWE's revenue is through the roof, but don't try to tell me it's because of Roman Reigns. Because of Roman Reigns. Don't try to tell me it's because Roman Reigns is a bigger household name than The Rock or an Austin or a Hogan. When nobody outside of wrestling knows who he is.
No. If you are not currently watching wrestling, if I walked up to you and say, hey, do you know who Roman Reigns is? You would maybe get, it was in America, you would maybe get like a 40-60, at best, oh yeah, sure. Yeah. That's that wrestling dude. Oh yeah. That's that guy, but I bet you half of that 40 you're getting, oh yeah, isn't that like The Rock's cousin? Would be added to that. So it's but then again, you take that 40-60 ratio with the, yeah, I know him and no, I don't. And you go up to a random person on the street and say, hey, do you know who The Rock is? Hey, do you know who Stone Cold is? And I'm at this point, you're probably going to get like a 90%. Yeah.
Yeah. Even John
I know who
Cena.
the fuck that is. Oh yeah. Even a John Cena. So again, like is he the most biggest drawing factor or whatever of this era? Sure. Why not? Knock your fucking socks off. But to be the smart asshole here, as I'd love to be, the revenue for the last, how long have they been going to Saudi? 5 years?
5, yeah, at least.
So the last 5 years of revenue skewed because they are pocketing pretty much the same amount of money they would get in a 4 or 5 year television deal for one fucking show.
They're also firing half the roster every year.
So there you go. There's one factor. There's another factor. Not to mention, during that 5 year period, they re-signed a new television deal because there was a bidding war for action sports. UFC was in a bidding war with I believe it was Showtime and ESPN. There was talks of taking fucking Monday Night Raw and moving it to Fox. Maybe they'd get bought out by Fox. There was an idea of them getting bought out by ESPN and it being on ESPN. There was all these things. So yeah, the money went up. That's the bidding war. So your business degree that you stapled to your wall that you printed offline, you didn't learn that part, did you? You didn't learn the fact of how it all recurs together, how it all builds together. And without that, if you based it solely on merchandise and ticket sales and pay-per-view sales, they are losing money. Hence why they were firing people left and right. So get your facts right. Check.
Hence why WrestleMania is built around bringing in part-timers. Did they bring in Brett or Warrior or anybody like that in the late 90s for WrestleMania? Or did they sell it on Rock, Austin, Triple H, Taker?
Okay, I'm really fucking thinking hard. Because the reality is,
Warrior's last Mania was 97 and it sucked.
Yeah. But
so
still.
was Brett's, actually.
Yeah, it's true.
Apart from the match with Vince, but that also sucked. And we don't talk about that match.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. But in all reality, in the retrospect, like if you think about it, every time there was a celebrity during the 90s or the early 2000s, they were there to get beat up. It wasn't even in the main event beat up. They would get beat up in some battle royal. Kane would destroy Pete Rose or something like that. It was something minuscule. It wasn't important. They didn't have to fucking turn around and train celebrities to go in there and do work.
No.
Take guys that had a desire to wrestle and say, perfect, let me take you.
They brought in Mike Tyson, and it wasn't like a cheap pop. Like, he got involved in the storyline. He joined DX, then he screwed DX, and then he punched Shawn Michaels in the face.
But he was a ref.
And he was a ref, yeah. He wasn't actually in the match.
He was a ref. He was in one kind of promo, and it wasn't even a promo. They just introduced him. They introduced him as a special guest ref. Him and fucking Stone Cold had a fucking face off, and that was it. That was it. They didn't have a Logan Paul. Okay, kid, let's train you. They didn't have a Pat McAfee, who did the NXT run. So I guess he's an exception. But a Bad Bunny.
Yeah, they didn't bring in Michael Jackson for a match.
No,
Michael Jackson's a wrestler all by himself now. Michael
fucking
Jackson 2.0.
That guy's fucking wrestling somewhere in Mexico today. But that's the thing. It's WrestleMania. The idea of celebrities being there was because it was such a big deal, because it was such a big thing. It wasn't to be a drawing factor.
No.
Because the drawing factor was Stone Cold and The Rock. It was, whatever fucking other big headlines I can't think of right now, because that was always the biggest one.
Yeah. So let's go WrestleMania 17, 2001. Widely considered the best WrestleMania of all time. They had a gimmicky battle royal with a bunch of legends in one match, but they sold the whole fucking show on Austin Rock main events.
But did you listen to your legends?
Legends, yeah.
Not celebrities. This wasn't celebrity. This was a legends battle royal. Old heads, bunch of old motherfuckers out there should not be wrestling. Was in there trying to wrestle.
Won by Iron Sheik.
Cheeky baby.
So yeah, there's that. Next up we have Rocky, bunch of numbers, definitely not Scarface. This one's just from Twitter. Tony will soon make wrestlers sign lifetime contracts, and you must stay with AEW for the rest of your life, no matter if you're unhappy or want to leave. Your soul is his, so obey. I don't think he's talking about Tony. That's the other guy that just retired, isn't it?
Are you sure that's not VK? And you over here saying it was TK? Do you not remember what Pac went through? Or hold on, Neville? When he wanted out of his contract and decided he had to stay home, so they kept extending his contract for 18 months.
And Brody, a.k.a. Luke Harper.
Luke Harper,
went
fucking
thing.
Brody. Same thing. This is so again. What are you talking about? And he doesn't want to just he doesn't want to just release dudes. So again, what are you talking about?
Brody, aka Luke Harper, didn't even go public. Literally, the only thing he ever tweeted was "It's today." You know what that means?
Yeah, that's it.
It was just reported that he wanted out, and every time a report came out, 6 months added to your contract.
Mm-hmm. I think that was a running joke for Dave too.
Yeah, it was.
I really do think that was a running joke for Dave. He's just like, well, he he said something. They're gonna add like 6 more months to his contract, and it's like okay, because I kept always figuring out. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen this guy like really sign or hear about him signing. So, how long is his fucking contract? Because he was always there.
They don't add injury time anymore. They add Luke Harper time.
Yeah, that's what they've called it. They've scratched the name out and called it Luke Harper time because that's the thing. If you get hurt, that's the thing. If you got hurt in the E, they're going to extend you. Now, in reality, I think TK is going to do that for certain people. I don't know if he's going to do it for everybody. Kenny for sure. Kenny for sure is getting that treatment. You know what I mean? The big stars like that, they're going to get that treatment. They're going to get well, dude, you were hurt for like a year, so there you go. Hanging out for another year.
Yeah, and I'm assuming this is directed towards Andrade wanting to leave, but why? Like, has anybody else ever had an issue? Like Cody wanted to leave, he got released.
Mm-hmm. Well, you mean no? He let his contract run out.
Yeah,
and then he wanted.
But it wasn't like Tony trying to add time on or trying to extend it.
Well, no, because he had expressed like, hey, I'm trying to do something. And he said, okay. And he even openly talked about it. And, it was a mutual thing and and they decided to part ways. And, there was all those stories that, he bitched and complained. He wanted a world title shot. And when he didn't get it, now all I want out. But he didn't go punching people to get out. He probably went up to TK and was like, dude, I think I'm done here. Can we just not renew me? Okay. And that was probably it. That was probably the extent of the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure TK probably tried to convince him, but didn't try to lock him down or anything.
Yeah, well, you were injured with the stub toe for 47 days. So, no, he was just, okay. And he was understandable and they parted ways.
Yeah.
But I don't remember hearing Cody punching people.
And then finally, I need to go and dig this one out because this was somebody that we actually know, who has been on Shitmark Say before, I believe.
Shocker.
And is constantly saying stupid shit by the name of Disco Inferno.
Oh, this fucking guy.
AKA Glenn Gilberty.
Glenn Gilberty, yeah.
He took an issue with the Wardlow and Brian Cage match. Oh my God.
I seen this fucking tweet and it made me want to drive to Vegas and punch him in the fucking face.
Because it was advertised that Brian Cage was going to return to answer Wardlow's open challenge for the TNT title. And we'll get to Dynamite a little bit later on. But Glenn didn't like it. Maybe it's a name thing. Maybe it's a Glenn thing.
Glenn don't like shit.
He just says no build-up, no angle, no storyline, no interest. Yeah, there's no angle, there's no storyline, there's no build. That's exactly what an open challenge is. It's just
ta-da.
There you go.
That's what it's called, an open challenge.
It's not like AEW invented open challenges. How long have WWE been doing them? I'm sure WCW did them.
Hold on. Wait. I was just going to say, I was like, I remember a certain television champion who used to have a little boogie fever who would hold constant open challenges. So what in the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? He's embarrassing.
He is, yeah. And just literally his tweet, no build-up, no angles, no storyline. That is literally the definition of an open challenge.
Truly is, though. Like it's the definition of an open challenge. But to throw that out, let's throw that part of it out. Okay, let's talk about instances where companies just put matches together and it didn't matter and nobody complained, aka half of WCW and the cruiserweight division. Did you know Psychosis? Did you know Juventud Guerrero? Did you know Eddie? Did you know any of these cats? Not Eddie. Did you know Chavo at first? Did you know fucking Did you know fucking La Parka? No, nobody, unless you were watching or whatever the other stuff, you didn't know. So there doesn't have to be build-up for the match to be good. It doesn't have to be a gigantic story from back in 1725 where their grandfathers hated each other. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They could go out there and two fucking big strong dudes can beat the shit out of each other and it could be okay.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure this is how New Japan do stuff, because they don't have a weekly show. They just tour and do pay-per-views.
That's it.
And there's just matches put together. There's no like long.
I mean,
well, there's some feuds.
Well, no, there's
but
stories, but the fun thing about fucking New Japan stories is they take forever to fucking do. So it's like, oh, okay, let's build towards this story by having, the guy that's in a, rivalry with this guy in a 6-man. And, maybe they get a fight for a little bit. And then for 3 weeks, they don't even fucking smell each other. And then, okay, let's do another fucking, and that's what they do. So I'm going to say it like this. Stop being biased, because I don't see you doing this shit with the E.
No,
So
I think
stop
Glenn's
with
trying
the
to get
bias.
hired by the E.
Oh, fuck out of here. Everybody want to get hired now because Papa H is taking over.
Oh,
Well, guess
Glenn,
what, bro? Papa H got logic. With your fucking dumbass tweets, you're fired in a day.
Glenn's been sniffing WWE's ass ever since he got let go by Impact.
And sniffing more than ass.
And nobody liked him in Impact either. Nobody liked you when you were actually on TV every week in WCW. The whole locker room didn't like you.
I fucking have recorded statements of me fucking dreading the theme of Disco Inferno.
I love it when Jericho jumps on him, because obviously they shared a locker room and Jericho's just like, you were an idiot. You were a joke.
It's the
To the
truth.
boys.
Because you have to think about it. It's not like fucking Jericho was much higher than him in WCW at first. It took some cool fucking managers. It took Rufus walking him down. It took things to get him at a higher echelon towards the end of WCW's run. But in the early days, when Inferno was hot and Jericho was debuting, they were on the same fucking level. It's, and then they again, the shared locker rooms. They were together at this, not together, but they worked at the entire length of the company at the same time. And every fucking week, I'm sure this guy would put his foot in his mouth, say something stupid. How can you work with this guy?
Right, he thinks he's hot shit because he was in WCW and people that kind of know his name.
Bro, dude, I don't know many people that okay, let's see. Let me talk about, there was one guy. I'm following a guy on TikTok now who was a big name. And actually, you know what? This is perfect. I'm following a dude on TikTok right now who was a big name in WCW, who does not going around preaching his name for WCW. He just preaches the tag team he was in with his brother. And that's a fucking goddamn Harlem Heat. Stevie Ray.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird when you see like dudes in like their 50s and 60s on TikTok. But whatever, bro. Hey, get your monies. Do your thing.
Regal needs a TikTok.
See, look at goddamn William Regal. He don't need to fucking be bragging about WCW days. Fucking
Regal needs to.
Go ahead.
He don't need to brag about anywhere he's worked. He just needs to brag about the life he's had and the career he's had. You just need to know William Regal. Oh, that dude, legend.
Legendary. But you bring up Glenn and they say who? Or you bring up Disco Inferno and people either laugh or say, "Oh, the guy that owns all those strip clubs in Vegas." Yeah, I think he owns like a strip club, but yeah.
What did he ever win? None.
A fucking television title, maybe? A couple times? Out of boredom? Then again, I don't remember many people who didn't win the television title back in WCW.
I don't think people even remember WCW had a TV title.
Probably not. They probably remember this one more than they fucking remember fucking the WCW one.
But this is why they are marks, and that's the shit they say.
God damn.
So let's go back to like Disco's heyday. We're going back in time for This Week in Wrestling History. I can guarantee you none of this history includes Disco Inferno.
Thank God.
There's actually a lot of John Cena and a lot of John Cena. Okay. September 30th to 2018, Cody Rhodes defeated Juice Robinson at Fighting Spirit Unleashed to become the 4th IWGP United States Champion.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's a short history, I always get it mixed up and think Cody was the second, right? No.
No.
October 2nd, 1999, WWE presented the first Rebellion event from Birmingham, England. Main evented by Triple H defeating The Rock in a steel cage match to retain the WWE Championship. Rebellion became one of 2 annual UK pay-per-views until 2002. Hopefully until now, actually. Let's keep doing Clash at the Castle every year.
Right? Come on, that was actually fun.
Yeah.
Even the singing part at the end.
Maybe I can go next year.
There you go, attaboy.
Also, October 2nd, in 2007, John Cena's 380-day reign as WWE Champion, the longest at the time since 1988, came to an end as Cena was forced to vacate the title due to a torn pectoral muscle.
Tired.
He got the Cody boob
You
treatment.
got the torn titty.
Yeah, the torn titty.
God damn.
And I think that's why he still has that huge vein right across there.
You know, I never really knew that, but I wouldn't say knew that. I never really questioned that. I just forgot. I forgot he tore his pec. I remember when he tore his bicep,
Yeah.
but I don't really remember the pec. But damn, yeah, no, I never thought of that.
The pec was pretty bad. Isn't that like, that's when he returned at the Rumble, like a few months later? Because it was
Yes.
supposed to be like 6-8 months, and he was back in, what, 4?
Yeah, I think like 4 in a week or something like that. But yeah,
More Cena history. This week in Cena history, October
Right.
3rd, 2004, John Cena won the United States title for the second time after winning his Best of 5 series against Booker T. That's a WCW thing. They don't do Best of 5s anymore.
No.
Cena only held the title for a few days before being defeated by the main roster debuting Carlito on SmackDown.
I remember this.
Yeah, it was pretty shocking because Cena was really, really hot at the time, like just taking off. And this new guy, nobody knew Carlito was, comes in and just beats Cena in his first night to win the US title. Not clean, obviously.
Yeah, no. But still, it was one of those things where it was like, what? What? It was a shocking moment, but obviously it had to come off of a fucking, off of some screwery. But
Yeah.
no, that was it. I remember that whole fucking feud and everything. God
Yeah,
damn, I miss Carlito.
He picked a great debut too, just spitting in John Cena's face. Oh.
Perfect.
October 4th, 2009. It's kind of Cena history. He is mentioned at the first ever Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Both world titles changed hands inside the cell as Undertaker defeated CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship in the opening match, and Randy Orton defeated John Cena for the WWE Championship. DX also defeated The Legacy in the main event, Hell in a Cell match.
Beautiful.
Yeah, first one, pretty good. Now we don't need a pay-per-view anymore. Just stop. Just give us random Hell in a Cell matches.
That's it. That's it.
I found it weird too. Like they started doing this like a couple of years after TNA first started doing Lockdown, and it was like the first ever all cage pay-per-view, and it was awesome. And like nobody's ever done this before, so WWE's like, hey, we're gonna do a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, but we're only gonna have 3 cell matches. So what's the point?
What's the point, man? Yeah, exactly. Don't dub it as that if you're not going to use it in every instance.
No, you half-assed it. Like TNA, the first Lockdown, literally every single match was in a cage. They had a tables match, they had a blindfold match, and it was
beautiful.
It was all in a cage. Finally, October 4th, 2019, ending on a downer. On SmackDown's 20th anniversary, Brock Lesnar controversially ended Kofi Kingston's WWE title reign, defeating him in 9 seconds.
Yeah.
And Kofi barely got a sniff at the title ever again.
Mm-hmm. It's fucking bad, unfortunate.
He had a good run too, but the worst part of it was like literally the next week he was just New Day member once again, and like nothing happened.
Like nothing happened. That's the worst part.
Every now and then you'll get, oh, he's a former WWE champion, but he's mostly just that guy from the New Day again now.
Yeah, but when you say that, you really got to start thinking like, oh, what? Yeah. And that's the problem.
Like that should have been a catapult for Kofi as a singles star.
Exactly.
But they just keep going back to New Day. Even now, it's Kofi and Xavier. Like when Big E first split from New Day, when in the draft split and everything, he was still hanging around with New Day and everything. It was like, you're supposed to be separating these guys. Why are they still a trio?
Exactly. It's like, we're supposed to be making a star out of this dude. Like, why are you still throwing pancakes? And
Right. And then like they're on opposite shows, but Big E's coming down and he's accompanied by Xavier and Kofi. Like,
yeah,
why? Why is he
it's
on
like
SmackDown
it's like, why are you supposed to be on the other
or
show? I
Raw,
thought this
whatever?
was a brand split. What happened to brand split?
They did this whole emotional goodbye to the New Day too, and then they just
Oh God.
oh yeah,
The
we're gonna keep putting them on
VK way.
TV together.
The VK way.
All right, I don't have a smooth segue for this one, but it's time for this week's Guess the Wrestler.
I wonder who this could possibly be.
Guess the Wrestler.
He's the wrestler, better than all the wrestler.
All right, so to make this a tad easy for you, this guy debuted in WCW in '91.
Vader.
No. He was, let's go with, he was a Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Champion twice, and he was Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Champion 3 times with Ricky Nelson and Dusty Rhodes.
I feel like I should know who's won tag team titles with Dusty.
Well, this is Mid-Atlantic, so this is a totally like weird promotion, but I get it. This is a weird, but yeah.
Nah, I'm drawing a blank so far.
Okay. WCW Tag Team Champion 5 times, 2 times. I'm sorry, once with Too Cold Scorpio, 2 times with a man named the Patriot, once with Shane Douglas, and once with Scotty Riggs.
I got a feeling this guy was in ECW too.
Let me see. Let me double check it for you to make your life easy. The answer to that is no.
Huh.
No, when it crumbled, he went to, instead of going to ECW or WWE, he went to that other promotion. The one in bingo halls.
Damn.
See, GCW Tag Team Champs with Scott Steele.
Oh, come on. Who's Ultra Violent that was in WCW?
Let's see. He was. Oh, here we go. This should help you flip that. He's not necessarily a death match guy. If that's where you're leaning. Most embarrassing wrestler in 2001.
That WCW?
Yeah, still in WCW at that time.
Okay, so
But to counteract that, he was also a part of the Best Gimmick in 1996, being the NWO.
oh, the NWO. Okay, so it's not Blue Meanie.
There you go. I helped narrow you a circle for you. Who in the NWO would be considered the most embarrassing wrestler in 2001?
Okay, we got 52 options.
Fucking A.
No, not Dennis Rodman. He wouldn't have
No.
fucking won a tag team title with Dusty Rhodes.
No.
Oh, Buff Bagwell.
Hey, atta boy,
Hey,
Buff Bagwell.
Buff the stuff.
Buff the stuff. Now, I
Who
was kind
should
of
have been
hoping
in
you
a
were.
tag team with Disco.
I was gonna. No, God, thank God, no. No, I was kind of hoping you were gonna get it with the one with Scotty Riggs. And they were the American males.
Now you say it. It's there.
Yeah. Yep. But no, that was a good one. That was easy. He did a lot of stuff on the indies. He was obviously a big indie guy. Mayhem Wrestling. GCW is actually great championship wrestling, not the other
Game
one.
changer.
Not Game Changer. He was Georgia All-Star Wrestling, AWA Superstars of Wrestling.
Bagwell won a
NWA
tag
Blue
team title with
Ridge.
Dusty Rhodes.
Won a tag team title with Dusty Rhodes in Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling.
That's blowing
crazy.
my fucking mind.
It really, yeah, right? Of like all the fucking. But here's, you know what? I gotta look. How back in the day was that? Like this had to be in the fucking 80s.
Yeah, I mean, he must have been green at the time.
Oh, he had to be green as shit. Come on, where you at? Where's Dusty? Where's Dusty? I don't see Dusty. Why don't I see Dusty? How fucking long ago was this?
Take a look. Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Champions.
I'm like looking and I'm lost. Oh, because it was the NWA Mid-Atlantic. Is I'm getting lost like that? That's probably why I'm getting lost.
Let's see. No, it wasn't in the 70s.
Right? That's what I'm like. There's no way.
Dusty Rhodes and Buff Bagwell. Oh, it's 2005.
Oh, see, what the fuck?
So Dusty wasn't in his prime.
Nowhere near his prime. Oh, this is whack. I was hoping this was like, before he got, famous. No, this is after he was old. Hell, the fucking Midnight Express won a belt in 2002 for them, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I was going to say that they won the vacant titles, but before that they were held by the Midnight Express. They lost the titles to fucking... Oh, they were vacated again.
The goddamn Steiner brothers were Mid-Atlantic? In 06? Fucking A. Rock and Roll Express. What the fuck kind of badass promotion is this, and why did it go under?
How many times were these titles vacated? Jeez.
Right? Jesus, man. Vacating is just racking up the belts in this fucking promotion.
Wow, yeah, he's got to have the most reigns.
Bud. He's just racking them up.
I got to count these. So
there's a lot.
We had 65 NWA Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Champions, and it was vacated, including the activation, once, twice, 3 times a lady. 8, 9, 10.
What the fuck?
11, 12, 13.
What the fuck?
13 times.
Come on, NWA.
Between 1968 and 2017.
Jesus Christ. Ay.
But there you go.
Hey, whatever.
Yeah, that's an extension of wrestling history for you.
Right, there we go.
And making history coming up in 7 weeks' time. It is etched in tradition. It's also etched in controversy. Max Wrestling presents the 7th annual promo series, Rising Storm. As it's been said, the promo series is where shit usually hits the fan.
Mm-hmm.
Last year's went pretty smooth, but we will predict Survivor Series, and we find out if Travis the Walker Anderson can survive yet another term as Group MVP. It's up to you guys to take that Group MVP away from him. All you got to do is post and comment in the group 28 days before the event. But on the action side of things, Moses defends the television championship against Cypher in a TV triathlon. Can Cypher finally win some gold? More importantly, will he get a fair fight against the House of Ashes?
Hey, all's fair in love and promos, baby.
That should definitely be our tagline. In a promo exhibition, Daniel Crimmins and Mike Larkin renew their rivalry. It's put up or shut up time.
Let's go.
Once again, Mike gets 6 minutes, DC gets 8 minutes promo time. The Phoenix defends the Knowledge Championship in the traditional winner stays on gauntlet. Can he survive all 3 challengers? For first, he has to make it past Beer, Mystery Challenger number 2, and finally, your very own Capitan. And I'm pulling double duty, or technically triple, because the World Championship is on the line in a 3-way cinematic match against the lawyer Chad Malcolm and Travis the Walker Anderson. It's a 3-way scissor me.
Scissor me, daddy-o.
For more information, go to maxwrestling.net/promo series 7, and no, Chad, you cannot have a scissor me daddy dazzy shirt.
Ah, come on. We gotta make that shit.
This is Velvet Sky.
Hey, this is the charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy.
Hey, yo, what up? It's Darby Allin. It's the Ultimate Vanessa, your girl's favorite wrestler.
Hey, Preston Vance here, aka number 10 of the Dark Order.
Hey, this is Tommy Tree.
Hey everybody, it's the interview queen, Alicia Atute here.
This is the voice of Killer Cross.
And you're listening to the Max Wrestling Podcast.
And you are currently listening to the Max Wrestling Podcast.
Max Wrestling Podcast. And we're about to take it to the max.
We're about to take it to the max.
It's time to take it to the max.
We're going to take it to the max.
Take it to the max.
Welcome to the Madhouse.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Madhouse.
Welcome back to the Cap and Mo Show. We're here every single Thursday. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, whatever it is you do, wherever you listen. And still to come, this week's Geek of the Week and the Best of the Week. But first, we have a WWE pay-per-view to predict, and we're kind of looking forward to it for once.
Right? What's going on?
It's crazy. It's Not only is it unusual for us to look forward to a WWE pay-per-view, but it's unusual that there's actual Extreme Rules variety matches at Extreme Rules.
Shocker, right?
It's taken 14 years. This is the 14th Extreme Rules event. Well, actually, you know what? I'm not going to include ECW shows in that. Because that was different. That was a whole different kettle of fish.
I was just going to say, that's a whole different ballpark.
All right, I need to go with this one first because what the fuck? The Brawling Brutes versus Imperium in a 6-man tag team good old-fashioned Donnybrook match.
I'm sorry, the what? Oh, I mean, Donnybrook's a fucking hockey fight, but what?
Well, yeah, I'm guessing it just means anything goes.
But I mean, who the fuck wrote that?
That sounds like a Ridge Holland thing to have. We're gonna have a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match.
It was a Donnybrook.
Oh yeah, it could have been Sheamus. We're gonna have a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match.
Does Sheamus like? It's like, who the fuck there likes hockey and why? Stop it.
I actually don't know who to go for because Brawling Brutes are obviously on a roll right now.
I'm sorry, that's the fucking stupidest goddamn name I've ever fucking heard. I'm sorry. That's fucking stupid as shit. The Brawling
worse. Oh yeah, the tag team name sucks too. But the match type is worse than Jericho and William Regal's Duchess of Queensberry Rules match.
I beg your what?
And they literally had a Duchess at ringside calling the rules. Man, the 90s. But yeah, Brawling Brutes are on a roll, but Imperium are also like Gunther's untouchable.
Gunther's untouchable.
I mean, I'd like to think Imperium win to keep Gunther's momentum going, and Giovanni Vinci's only just joined the main roster, and I don't want to see Butch anymore. I want to see Pete Dunne.
And the only way you're gonna get that is them losing.
So.
Yeah.
It's 2 for the Brawling Brutes.
No, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Wait. Did I say Brawl? I meant Imperium.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Imperium. I was about to say, I can't do the Brawling Brutes. It's like, because the reality is like, you cannot deny the momentum or the fucking anything for that matter of Gunther. You just can't. You can't do it. It would be stupid of you to do so. So to have them lose to these guys would be dumb, but at the same time, like, yeah, it's Papa H is trying to break guys away from whatever the dumb gimmick Vince put on them. And yeah. I'm sure Butch is going to die soon and we can get back Peter Dunne. Please.
I've actually just noticed there isn't a single straight rules match whatsoever. Beautiful. Every single match has a stipulation. That's probably the first time ever at Extreme Rules.
Oh, it's fantastic. I love this. However, there's no fucking. There's only 2 women's championship matches. There's no other goddamn belt. Nobody else can defend the belt. Line. Well, no, there's a ladder match for the Raw Women's belt, and then the Extreme Rules for the women's SmackDown.
No men's titles.
Where's the men's title? God damn it.
Roman doesn't want to work Saturdays.
Asshole. You lazy bastard.
So, let's hold off on the title matches then because we only have 2 of them out of 6. Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross in a strap match.
Son of a bitch.
I'm assuming they made the strap out of Kross's old gear.
I'm hoping. Dear God, I'm hoping. Like, it better be the same fucking color and everything. And it better like have like the helmet dangling off and they gotta like throw it off to the side. Oh shit. Who left that on there? I really, really, really want to take Drew. I really want to take Drew. But Drew is that guy who gets like beat a lot and it's fine. And he's still pretty dominant.
Yeah.
But I don't know if like that Karrion Kross push is as real as I'm thinking it is. Like I'm back on my highlights with trying to watch Raw and SmackDown. I'm back on the highlights. I got to try to actually watch the shows. But I mean, I don't want to say it would kill momentum if he lost because this is like a fucking strap match. But then again, you know, give me Karrion Kross, and I don't know, maybe it's the start of something. You know, I don't know.
I'd like to think Kross because it's like, is it like the first match of his latest run?
Mm-hmm. To my knowledge.
So after how terrible his first main roster run went, he kind of has to win.
He kind of has to, and he's taking down one of the biggest dogs there is. But again, like I said, the guy can lose, and it's not a big problem. So, yeah, I mean, I think we're undeniably pushing him.
I mean, let's face it, no loss for Drew is going to suck as much as Clash at the Castle.
Facts.
Which he apparently said he was genuinely concerned people were going to start rioting when he lost.
Hey, I was concerned people were going to start rioting, okay? Come on now.
I think they probably would have rioted more for the sing-along.
I know, right?
With Tyson Fury, but...
That thing is... They were going. They didn't give a shit.
No. It was just crazy. Somebody forgot to cut the feed for the show, so we just got this post-show send the fans home happy sing-along, and everybody at home was watching like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, that's exactly what we were saying at TSK. Like, yo, what the fuck? I mean, you can't sing, bro, so shut the hell up.
Let's move to Matt Riddle, Seth Rollins, Fight Pit with Daniel Cormier as a special referee.
Finally. Daniel Cormier gets to just show up in the E and do something. I'm happy about this. I'm happy about the Fight Pit. I'm excited for the Fight Pit. I was rewatching him and Oni Lorcan, Matt Riddle and Oni Lorcan, and I really liked it. But this is different because we're talking about Seth Rollins here. We're not talking about a tactical guy or like a technicianary guy, I should say, technical guy against another technical guy. And Matt Riddle. And you're getting Seth frickin' Rollins. You're getting a high flyer, a guy who can kind of do a little bit of everything inside of a little cage that has a platform to dive off of and shit. So, I mean, it brings some factors in, but at the same time, this is also Matt Riddle's world. He works well in the cage. He's a good striker. He can, maintain ground control. There's a lot of things he can do to just, make it look like an MMA fight. But then again, where are we going with this? Is there, are we leaning towards Seth losing for whatever reason? Is Riddle getting a push? Is Seth going to get another push for the 1,000,000th time? DC being in there makes me think Riddle goes over just because it's DC. I don't think he's going to have any fuckery in this. I kind of hope he does, just a little bit, just because I'm really hoping for DC and Brock. I'm really hoping for DC and Brock. So I'm gonna go with my gut, and if my gut's wrong, then it's not. It's let me down many times before. I want to go with Riddle, but if Seth wins, I'm actually going to be a little shocked. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
My thinking's very similar. Like Riddle surely has more of an advantage in this kind of match. Not just because he's been in a fight pit before, but like you said, it's his world.
Yeah, it's just comfort. Just comfort.
Yeah, and also, how long's this feud been going on now? And it's just Riddle keeps chasing Rollins, and I think Riddle has been injured by Rollins twice now. So
I want to say, yeah,
it would make sense for Riddle to get the win and just
It would.
finally put this feud to bed.
Yeah, that would be nice.
'Cause I just get a feeling if Rollins won, Riddle would still be coming after him. If Riddle wins, Rollins going to be like, right, I'm done with him. Move on.
Yeah, we need a means through the end. Like it's time to end this thing. We need a stopping point, and Rollins winning again is not a stopping point. You're going to set it up for another match. Or we're going to do a fight pit inside of a cage. You know, we're going to do a last man standing match, a submissions match. That's God. I think I just fucking booked it for him. Submission match. But this is where it should end.
Yeah.
Like I said, even if that means DC gets involved and match wins a little bit tainted, fine. But it needs to end here.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people jumped on the assumption that we're leaning towards Cormier and Brock when Cormier was announced.
Well, I mean, that was my process. Is it's something he's talked about. It's something Brock's talked about. The reality is if Brock would have been in better shape, and if timing would have been better, he wouldn't have fought Mike Hunt or he wouldn't have fought Homeboy Hunt. He would have fought DC, and it would have been a way bigger draw and a bigger deal. And because it was two outstanding wrestlers and decent strikers going against each other, two guys that were considered the best at their times. Now you get to do that in the pro wrestling world, in a realm where there's an ability to make both guys look strong and make both guys look good. And Brock has shown you with working with Roman, he can pretty much help anybody. If he wants to, he can help anybody. He has a brain for this, which is great, and he's willing to go out there because as he said it on the Pat McAfee show, this is a business. I understand the business, it's what it is. It's meant to be. DC don't have to beat Brock. The match just has to happen. You know what I mean? We don't need to see DC beat the shit out of Brock. If he does, cool, whatever, right on. I don't give a fuck. But it's not like it's not a necessity.
No. Just for comparison too, like we said, this is probably the first time ever that every single match has had a stipulation at Extreme Rules. Last year, we had 7 matches.
Oh God.
There was a triple threat match, which by default is a DQ, so we're not really counting that one. We had a 6-man tag, which is normal rules. We had 3 singles matches, a normal tag match, and then 1 Extreme Rules match.
Oh yeah! Oh my God!
Last year was the definition of not so Extreme Rules, but this year, world of difference. Thank you, Triple H.
I'm gonna say this in a very, very nice way, and here's the problem with it because NXT's already using it. But if they need to scrap a handful of pay-per-views and either just make them, farther in between, or all these gimmicked ones, if you're not going to run gimmick, they're in your house. That's it. Go ahead.
WWE should have brought back In Your House years ago.
I mean, it worked for NXT.
Yeah.
NXT does it once in a blue moon. You can have an NXT in your house. You can have a WWE in your house. I think that could work. Is it weird because they're sharing it? Sure, but there's a brand difference because of the beginning part of it, but that's about it. That doesn't matter. But I think that would work a lot better because then we're not expecting, 6 matches of Extreme Rules, or at least we weren't back then. Now it looks like we're gonna fucking get it. But then again, I don't need people dying on me every week, okay? And when Hell in a Cell comes around, I don't need 6 Hell in a Cell matches, Papa H, okay? I don't need it, but maybe the VK it sounded cool, you know what I mean? Maybe the fucking Big Teeth Kevin Dunn it sounded cool, not to me, not to us. No, thank you. I don't need everybody getting hurt.
I mean, NXT TakeOver pretty much was a reinvention of the In Your House concept.
Yeah, because it was just Takeover. That's it.
Takeover, add a funny name. Takeover, add a funny name. That was what in your house was. In your house, beware the dog. In your house, cold day in hell.
You started it beautifully. Beware of the dog. Exactly. That's it. It doesn't. We don't need. It doesn't need a fucking gigantic tagline and this and this and this is the stipulations and just have a fucking goddamn show. Have a fucking show.
All right, where are we up to on 2022? Let's go. Let's go with one of the women's title matches then. An Extreme Rules match for the SmackDown Women's title. Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey. Now, Liv is the only person in the entire world with 2 victories over Ronda Rousey.
I don't know if it's gonna be 3. God, it would be it would be crazy if it's 3. It would be crazy.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have her on the fucking poster of this motherfucking thing and lose?
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
Like Liv's had a good run now.
Great run.
And I think people are more behind Ronda now than they've ever really been in WWE. Except for like when she very first popped up and everybody was like instantly automatically behind her, and then she started having a run and it was like, eh.
She got plain really fast. She got real vanilla.
I mean, I always liked her, but you know, she stopped being impressive. Her honeymoon period wore off. But now she seems to have won the fans over again. So I think Ronda has the fan support in this one.
I think you're right. I think Ronda does have the fan support in this one. I think it's time too. I think Liv had a really good run. You know, you beat Ronda twice. There's not a lot of people in that fucking company that's going to say, you beat Ronda twice. But now you're getting fully healthy Ronda in an Extreme Rules match where she can, use weapons and whatever she needs to do to beat you. And I think that this is it. This is the time. And it's okay. Because guess what? Now Liv is more built up. Because that's what you do. That's what you do with a fucking world championship. You put it on somebody, you build them as a person, and then when it's time to give it to the big star again, then you make a guy like a Ronnie Garvin. You make a guy like I'm trying to think of who was a quick transition champion that everybody liked a lot. Like when fucking Jeff Hardy got it for the first time when he only had it for a short time.
Yeah.
Like people had to have it win again. Well, Jeff Hardy deserves it. Jeff Hardy this, Jeff Hardy that. He's a perfect example. And now it's time to give it back to the big star. Okay, cool. You lost to Big John. Oh, Big John. Fucking Big John. Okay, well, guess what? Now it's Big Ronda, okay?
Kane, too.
Kane.
First world title was 24 hours.
There you go.
And I don't think he won it again for... world title for almost 10 years. That first reign was King of the Ring 98.
Because he was bald Kane by then, right?
Yeah, and I think it was the ECW title. It was either ECW or the Big Gold.
I want his Big Gold. Probably Big Gold. Was it Big? Yeah. Yes. No. Maybe. Yes. Did he win the Big Gold?
He definitely won the Big Gold, but I'm not sure if he won that before the ECW title.
I think he did. I want to say he did.
But yeah, either way, it was like almost, maybe it was a decade, like since Kane won his first world title, lost it straight back to Stone Cold the next night, and then won another world title.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to go Rousey too because of what I said, but if I was thinking Vince logic, which we don't really have to do anymore, but
no, thank God.
I would imagine maybe the possibility of Shayna turning heel and costing Ronda the match.
I could totally see something like that. I mean, there is an idea of building a Shayna and Ronda feud for damn sure. It's something I'm sure a lot of people have been wanting to see. But is Survivor Series enough? Should that be a Mania match?
Well, like you said, we got Survivor Series coming up. That could mean more. It would make more sense for Shayna and Ronda to be a team.
It would make more sense for them to be a team. It would, and then you could probably between now and April, between November and April, you can have something and start a thing, and that could be a total WrestleMania match, which would make a lot of sense. You know what I mean? In a way, it's a long-term storybook, and they were, once super best friends. Now they're sworn enemies. Blah 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 blah. I mean, I don't hate that idea. Yeah, I don't mean, but yeah, I think I'd rather them team and then have issues rather than her just jump her.
Yeah,
So,
and
yeah.
as far as Ronda's Mania plans go, I think the idea is to now finally pull the trigger on Ronda and Becky one-on-one.
Oh, well, there you go. I mean, you could always do that. So then, yeah, maybe Survivor Series is good enough. Maybe you can have Shayna interfere. Excuse me.
But I'm going to stick with Ronda on this one.
Yeah, she seems like the safest bet.
All right. I quit match. Edge versus Finn Balor.
Where is this show at?
Good old Donnybrook.
Yeah.
It's in Philly.
Excuse me. I really don't think Edge is going to say I quit. But then again, I don't see either one of these guys saying I quit. Like that's the hard part right here.
Logically, Edge would reach breaking point before Finn. Like, how many times has Edge been written off with an injury in the last few months?
True. Is this his debut back, though?
Well, I mean, it's his first match back since his last injury.
Oh, then there's no way this fucking guy can lose. But then
I mean,
again,
I think his last match was SummerSlam, so it's only 2 months ago.
What didn't he say he was going to be done when they went to Ontario?
Next year in Canada, yeah.
Oh, next year. Oh.
I think SummerSlam's in Canada next year, even though we're not supposed to know that. I think Edge let the cat out of the bag.
Oh, fucking asshole. VK's like, you bastard. Papa H got to fix it now. Just because he's fucking fresh back, I'm going to say Edge takes it. It's going to be weird to say Finn say he quits or whatever. Maybe this is where fucking Dom gets involved.
Yeah.
And like throws in the towel for him or whatever. And they're like, you fucking soft. I don't know. It's got to be something.
I was thinking the opposite. Like, if Ray is in Edge's corner and like it looks like Dom is in trouble or something and Ray throws in the towel for Edge.
But I can totally see it that way too. Damn. Because in all reality, they're on a fucking roll to Judgment Day. They've gone a tad stale. But they're still on a roll.
I think a lot of that's down to Rhea.
Fucking ain't right. It's because of Rhea.
They definitely need a win.
What is? If Ray's out there, then Finn wins. If Edge goes alone, Edge wins. So, but fuck it. I'll change me to Finn. God damn. Fuck. This is one of the hard ones. That's the problem. It's one of the hard ones.
I'm more inclined to go with the safe logic of Edge is going to reach breaking point before Finn does.
Old man, we got it.
Yeah. So we've actually come down to the last match. I don't know if this will be the main event, but I wouldn't be surprised, and I'd actually like it to be the main event. Bianca Belair defending the Raw Women's title against Bayley in a ladder match. Now, apparently, I read this morning, the ladder matches are going to be 2 feet shorter than normal. So WWE used 12-foot ladders. These ones are going to be 8 to 10 feet for whatever reason.
Okay, safety.
Yeah.
Less fall damage. I mean, hey, proactive thinking.
And I'm smelling a title change.
Me too. You're gonna tell me Bayley's not gonna win a ladder match? How many ladder matches she already won? And I don't remember Bianca even being in one. No, that's not true. She was in Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Speaking of being on a roll.
Yeah, I was gonna just say the same fucking thing. As speaking of being on a roll. God damn, they're on fire. Yeah, Bianca's super safe right now. She loses it. It's not the
Oh,
end of the world.
shit. I just
But
realized Alexa is going to be in Bianca's corner with Asuka,
Alexa, yep.
but we're
And
supposed to be getting the White Rabbit reveal. Fuck you. No, not that Alexa.
right, wrong, Alexa.
She's not sure about it, but we're supposed to be getting the White Rabbit reveal at Extreme Rules too.
Oh Lord! So
And
when
if it
do
is
we?
Bray and Alexa's out there, then
I,
that could cost Bianca somehow.
okay, hold on, because here's my gimmick with this. I think he's coming for Carrion. I think it'll be for Cross. As much as I like the Alexa thing, I do. I think if anything, we'll get a tease and we'll be like, oh shit, here he comes, and then
Well,
nothing happens.
I don't think he's supposed to actually return until Survivor Series, but it's
Okay.
going to be confirmed who it is at Extreme Rules, is what I read.
Crap. I like that. I mean, either way, I think Bianca's losing.
Yeah. Clean or otherwise.
Right. I was going to say either she's losing clean or she's losing because of Alexa or because of the damage control or what. But regardless, unfortunately, Bianca's losing. But yeah, dude, I mean, that would be interesting as fuck. But then again, like, I've gotten used to her being the old school fucking Alexa again, bubbly and blah, 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 blah ish. So, I mean, to just say fucking spin it on your head and change it might be a little much.
But she's still carrying that doll around.
I was just going to say, but then again, she's still got the fucking doll. Shit. It's a difficult one. I don't know.
I don't think we're going to.
I would rather him go after Cross. But then again, if he's coming back, I'm just happy he's back. Let's just leave it at that.
I mean, you could do both, but I get the feeling we're going to find out towards the end of the show or at the end of the show, and this has better chance of main eventing than Drew and Cross does.
Facts.
So, there you go. That's all 6 matches. No doubt they may add another one tomorrow on SmackDown. They love to fuck with us that way before a pay-per-view.
Bastards.
Or a premium live event.
But then again, we thought the same thing with Clash of the Champion or Clash of the Castle, and they didn't do anything.
True.
So I mean, let's hope that's the Papa H theme. You know what I mean? Like, you think, but we're not gonna.
We don't need any more matches. You got 6. Give them all a decent amount of time.
I'm telling you, the perfect time, the amount of time for pay-per-views, is 3.5 hours. If you can make it less than that, you make us wanting more, which means we can't wait for the next one.
Not fucking 5 hours, TK.
Yeah, come on now, bud. Don't get me wrong, bro. I'm all about fucking, badass shows and this and that. But like, if I really wanted a 5-hour show, I'll wake up at 2 a.m. and watch a New Japan thing. You know what I mean?
Or we just watch a Martin Scorsese movie.
Hey, that fucking sounds cool with me, man. I'm down to watch Gatsby.
All right, back on the Dynamite side of things then. We kicked off with MJF getting a win over Wheeler Yuta after their little mini feud.
Excellent match.
Excellent match, yes. Wheeler continues to prove himself.
Fucking not just Wheeler, MJF. What a fucking return to the ring. Jesus Christ, kid.
For somebody who very rarely wrestles and people don't necessarily consider him a good wrestler, he's just an amazing talker. He had a great match.
He did. This was excellent.
And he got a This Is Awesome chance because there's so many near falls.
We were looking like we were getting MJF face turn with the whole handshake deal, and then all of a sudden, Stokely Hathaway's people come out, and he's yelling at Stokely Hathaway, "What are you doing?" And I mean, I'm just saying, with everything that's going on right now, you need a guy that everybody can get behind in a way, and I don't know anybody that would get a better reaction as a face than MJF. He's easy to get behind, but then again, I've also have this thought process that he is going to be the opposite of John Cena. the exact opposite of John Cena. As much as we want him, as much as we may want him to eventually go face, it's just never going to happen.
But I don't. He, like, even as a heel, he still gets the great reactions.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, he gets the Punk reaction. You know, the heel that you have to love. The Stone Cold reaction.
Yeah, and after the match, like you said, the firm attacked, and MJF had the diamond ring, and it was just so cool seeing Regal just stand up.
Oh yeah, with
dust himself off, pick out the brass knucks from his pocket, and just walk on down.
I was like, I am not fucking with him. Just run away while you can.
Yeah, MJF made the right decision. The crowd start chanting, "You fucked up," and I love how Taz played it off, going, "Yep, Regal did fuck up or mess up."
That was great.
But just that look on, he didn't even need to pull out the brass knucks. Just that look on Regal's face when he stood up, like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, like you pissed that guy out. You fucking pissed the wrong guy out. It was great. I mean, it was just an excellent way to end it. You know, if anybody's, they made it. It was a definite tease that, oh shit, is Regal going to come back in the ring? But I really doubt he will. But it's just, you know,
No,
nice thought
I
process.
think that's the appeal of Regal. He doesn't need to wrestle. You know he can still kick your ass.
Exactly.
It kind of felt like a throwaway match, but Darby
Yeah.
Allin got a win over Jay Lethal.
Yeah, but it was still good, very enjoyable. But yeah, it was just there.
Yeah, and then after the match again, same with MJF. Jay Lethal kind of shows a little face shades, seemingly showing respect to Darby and stopping his boys from getting involved.
Yeah, it's interesting. Interesting look. It's like, are we getting a gigantic change? What's going on? Or you know what I mean? Like it's just, it was. I don't know. You already know I hate Sanjay Dutt, but I don't know. I mean, I'm liking Jay Lethal as a heel, but I mean, if they got a plan, if they have a plan for him as a face, then I'm not going to say no.
No, he's a good heel, and he doesn't need Sanjay and Satnam Singh at all. They're just dead weight.
Yeah, that is true.
Now, the match that Disco wasn't very pleased with, Wardlow and Brian Cage. I honestly, when I first heard about it, I wasn't really thrilled that they were facing each other because I thought neither one of them can afford to lose. Like,
yeah,
Wardlow's run as TNT champion has been kind of on the fence.
To a degree, yeah.
How long has Cage been out?
Oh God, if I could, all I know is he's been out for a while, and to my knowledge, I believe he was out with an injury. And, you know, the guy had just came back. I mean, he came back to the point where, like, his record looks so good. You're like, why is he not in the world title picture? Like, what's going on? Guy has, like, 6 losses in AEW, and that's it. But, I mean, he gets hurt a lot. But, I mean, yeah, no, I wasn't overly excited. I was, but I was. You know, and I'm a Brian Cage guy. Another guy that I followed for a while. And I was excited to see him come back. But I already knew right off the bat he was going to lose. And he looked good. It, you know, none of this was bad, but it was just, you know, I enjoyed it, but I mean, yeah, is Cage going to get a push now? Like, I'm not more like, oh, well, there was no story, but I'm more of the after effect. What's going to happen now? How many more people is Wardlow going to go by with ease before he gets a real challenger? Is Cage going to hang around? Is he going to get another shot at some other belt? Is he going to just be a dude there? Because it looks, I mean, that tag team that he's running with looks like they're getting a shot on Friday for against FTR. They're obviously going to lose, but still.
That was another thing too, like how the ease, like, okay, it was a bit of a house fight, but the ending with the Powerbomb Symphony, I would have preferred Wardlow to just win with one powerbomb, just scrape it.
Factuals.
Like, Brian Cage doesn't need to fall victim to a symphony of powerbombs.
5. I mean, he's a hell of a sport for taking 5 power bombs. Hell of a sport for taking 5 power bombs. But
again, we had the run in from there was a lot of faction run-ins on Dynamite last night. So like,
then we got Ward Joe.
The Embassy, we had Ward Joe. Joe and FTR both came down to big pops. Great to see.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
And then the 6-woman tag also had all these groups coming together at the end. I mean, the 6-woman tag was what it was.
It was. I was expecting it to be a little bit better, but it was what it was. It worked out okay.
Again, it was just there, but the bigger
Yeah,
story was after the
unfortunately.
match.
It was, yeah. And the whole idea of what's going on with Sheree, and is she going against fucking Britt Baker, this and that, and all the questions. And I mean, the only true upside I took about this is Willow got a pin, and a good noticeable pin on Dynamite, which is good. I like her. She should be used more.
Honestly, everything she did was very noticeable on this week.
She's noticeable. She's good. You know, it's just she doesn't have that look that you have to have. She has a super bubbly personality and, you know, looks the way she does and wrestles really good, but she's just not getting that true attention. But then again, she's only been around for so long, and she went from Ring of Honor pay-per-views to Dark and Elevation to now she's getting more Dynamite stuff. So it's like she's going up. She's going up.
And Saraya didn't do a whole lot. Like, she threw Britt she punched her a couple of times, threw her at the ring, and then kicked Rebel. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when you think about the bigger picture, like, she hasn't gotten physical whatsoever in 5 years.
Nope.
So it was a big moment for her.
It was. I mean, to look at some, as I'm looking at some notes here, from looks like TK had a little presser. He declined whether Saraya was going Saraya, whatever the fuck how you pronounce it, goddamn it, Saraya was going to wrestle or not. He declined to comment on it. So my guess is she's not cleared, and until they can get her cleared, they're not going to say shit. They're just going to tease you.
Yeah.
And us.
And that was a great tease.
It is. Don't get me wrong. I would love to see her back. I would. But if she's not ready, I don't want nobody getting hurt again. And this, again, like I said last week, or the week she debuted, this is not the E. We're not going to, oh, hey, they're here to show out because that's the only way to get over it with this crowd, unfortunately. So, downside is you can get hurt really quick here.
Honestly, I kind of think, or maybe it's wishful thinking, that with Britt before this match, doing that whole backstage segment announcing, according to her, that Saraya was not cleared, kind of makes me think that she is cleared, but they're waiting for a trigger to pull. So, like, when she does, like, publicly announce that she's cleared, it's going to be a much bigger moment than what we saw last night.
I could totally see that. That sounds like a TK thing.
Next pay-per-view, what, November? They got time.
They do got time. They got time to build it. No, actually, is it November? Yeah, November. I was thinking of Ring of Honor.
November 12th, I think, Full Gear.
Yeah, Full Gear.
And, we've already talked about the whole Sammy thing, but the only other thing, the Acclaimed segment, they are so fucking over.
It's ridiculous how over they are.
It's ridiculous how many scissors I saw in the crowd.
Well, not only that, the shirts, they're number one in merch sales. You got Billy Gunn over in 2022. That is the biggest thing I can keep talking about. You got Billy fucking Gunn over again in 2022 by being daddy ass. That's literally it.
It's crazy how Billy Gunn is over as Anthony's straight best friend.
Yes.
Normally it's the other way around.
Nope. You're about to say, I was like, well, he had this thing one time with a man named Chuck, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah. But he did make it very clear. Whoa, Rico, we're not gay.
Yeah, we're not gay. Like, what? What do you mean you guys aren't gay? Lord have mercy.
They also made the crowd cheer for the announcement of a Billy Gunn match.
A Billy Gunn match and a revealing pair of scissors.
Yes.
The scissors that I'm sure cut all kinds of ribbon and such from City Hall, which is hilarious.
It's crazy how scissors is so over too.
Not only that, but then you hear fucking Excalibur yelling on commentary, "Don't run with scissors," and then exactly following behind, "Hey, don't run with scissors."
It's crazy how big they become.
But crazy.
Yeah, they literally had that crowd in the palm of their hands for that whole segment.
Facts.
And crazy as it is, I am actually looking forward to Swerve and Billy Gunn next week.
I hate to admit it. Me too. I mean, I don't know how well Billy's going to do, but it is an attention grabber, and my eyes are on next week.
I mean, he's always in insane shape.
That's not fair. That's not fair. He's fucking ridiculous. Okay? You can't. How the fuck are you like almost 60 and like that?
I don't think Billy's ever been in bad shape.
I'm really trying to think there. I'm really trying to think. No.
Never seen him in bad shape. Even when he was in TNA fooling around with the beautiful people, cute Kip and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. He was still in great shape. Maybe not as good as shape, but still good shape.
Yeah. Basically, he has no right to be in as good a shape as he's in.
Factual statements. Factual.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. Cut and dry for Dynamite this week. There was a lot of matches that had bigger stories after the match. There was a lot of run-ins.
Mm-hmm.
It just goes to show that the factions that we have in AEW, really.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
There's
of
a lot of them.
Which is okay. I mean, it's like a New Japan kind of feel.
Yeah. So, and now for the A to B of Retro Rewind.
SMR Podcast Network. You should be listening.
That's right, Retro Rewind, hot heavy here in the non-sensory. It is so like interesting. Like, so here's how my not recording process. Here's how my note-taking process has been right now. It's like half homework, half watching the show, half taking notes. So when I miss something, I go back and I redo. So it's been taking me a little while to get stuff going. So as of right now for the Monday Night Raw, we are on December the 2nd. We finally finished up the World War III pay-per-view for WCW. This was just good old-fashioned bad Raw. This was just bad. Diesel versus Phineas Godwin, Flash Funk versus the Goon, and I'm just like, what in the world is going on? Flash Funk is here. It's Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Billy Gunn teaming up. Hey, what do you know? Yeah, you know what I mean? That was a bad episode. WCW, truth be told, wasn't much better. I mean, it was the fallout from the pay-per-view. Let's see. We did get a Faces of Fear versus I forget who. I think it was Scotty Riggs and somebody else. And this was just one of those like, hey, we had a pay-per-view, bam, slow weeks of retro. So nothing of highlight, unfortunately, but do check the new dropping. December the 2nd is going to be dropping on Monday. It's going to be a show. It's going to be, I'm just pre-warning you now, it's going to be a show. Make sure you're checking out the pay-per-views, though. Those were going to be way more fun than this recording was going to be. But let's get, you know what I was going to do, what I almost didn't do, is I got to give you the Retro Geek of the Week. And the Retro Geek of the Week has to be, and the men named Glenn are just getting it today. They're going to get it today. And Glenn Jacobs, my man, a.k.a., are you ready for this one? Diesel with the air quotes, is this week's Geek of the Week. Strictly because, like, fucking Jesus Christ, he does not look the part. He can go. He's in great shape, but he's fake Diesel. And he's in there fumbling with Phineas Godwin, which, truth be told, I don't understand. They do all 4.5 moves and call it a game. So goddamn you, Glenn Jacobs, and your fucking mayor of wherever the fuck you're at, you, sir, are the Retro Geek of the Week.
Owen Hart had the best commentary call ever for the Godwins. It was, get that smelly goat out of the ring. He smells worse than the hillbillies.
Oh, I remember that vividly. Vividly, I remember that line.
I think it was it Royal Rumble?
Was it the Royal Rumble? Was it the Royal? It was the Royal Rumble.
98, I think there was a tag match.
Sooner. I want to say that was like 96.
Also, maybe it was
This was like
Buried Alive. Or one of those
there you
in your
go. That
houses.
sounds more better. Buried Alive. Yeah. Because that was when they brought a goat into the ring. There was a slop bucket. Yeah, it was the whole shibiggity bang. That's back when he was still rocking the cask.
Oh man, the 90s.
Right, the 90s.
So let's find out who the modern day Geek of the Week is, and it may still be a Glenn. We'll find out.
Pencil neck geek, grit-eating freak, scum-sucking peahead with a lousy physique. He's a one-man, no-cut, losing streak. Nothing but a pencil neck geek.
Pencil neck geek. Modern day Geek of the Week is not a Glenn. Unfortunately, I thought I could throw a third one on there. There was no Glens of that geekery for this day and age. However, there is a Samuel, and unfortunately, I'm going to point the blame at him. I'm sure Andrade was the biggest dude here, was the biggest blah 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 blah. But this week's Geek of the Week is none other than fucking the leader of the Panda Fam. Goddamn Sammy Guevara, because you need to stop it on Twitter. You need to stop instigating shit because you feel of whatever it is you feel. Knock it off. If this fucking lunatic wants to get fired, let him get fired. Don't go throwing your name into it. Don't be this fucking problem that's not going to be dealt with because you're Jericho's boy. Because that's how I'm seeing it from the outside perspective. Now, granted, maybe call that the Buck bias, if you will, the Omega bias. But right now, you're just Jericho's right hand man, and that's the only reason you didn't get suspended, and that's the only reason, and that's the biggest reason why you should get suspended. So, Samuel, you sir, the Geek of the Week, and fucking somebody take his phone away. Somebody take his phone away.
I think Geek of the Week would have lost a little credibility if it wasn't Sammy this week. No matter, like I say, we discussed both sides, but
I mean, again, I can't be that guy to say that it's okay for one guy to be hot-headed and the other guy not to be. I understand Andrade wants to leave, but that doesn't mean you need to go poking the bear with a stick on Twitter to then turn into an altercation at the fucking arena. Like that's what this is about. If you're not poking the bear, you're not a geek, but you're poking bears.
Yeah.
And that screams geek.
And now for the Bestler of the Week.
The Bestler.
I think there's only one fair choice for Bestler of the Week this week. It was somebody you probably normally wouldn't expect, but we talked about this person standing out in their match this week, and really making a name for themselves. So, Bestler of the Week this week goes to Willow Nightingale.
Willow Nightingale. Good for you, girl.
Good job. Let's see what you do on Rampage.
Can't wait to see what
you do on Rampage. Sure Jade's going to win, but still.
Hey, you know what I mean? Nobody's fought her 3 times. I mean, I'm just saying, there's good stories out there.
Yeah.
Who knows?
There's one thing we forgot to talk about on Dynamite, which is Roosh and Hangman.
Roosh and Hangman. Good stuff. Roosh has a thing for Aubrey. We can already see it. He was flirting. I've seen the whole thing. That he did not give a damn. He said, watch what I do to him, Aubrey. I'm going to do something to you. It was good. It was good. I liked it. Super solid. Like I said, fucking Roosh is out here killing it. I'm glad he's here. He ain't bitching about his position, so thank God for that.
Yeah.
Quality
but again,
stuff, though.
Again, good match, but again, a big story came after the match with Mox.
Absolutely. Mox comes out as looks like Hangman was going to get jumped, and he calls him. What was the whole thing? He's like, hey, if we got to, if you really want to have this fight right now, we could do it. And you're a sweet kid, but I'm going to kick your ass or whatever the fuck. But it's great story building. I hate to say that it makes me feel like it's. I feel like Mox could drop it already. Like that after that promo, I feel like he can. Maybe Hangman's not on that level for everybody else like he is me, but I could totally see a transition next week. Was it next week or in 2 weeks or whatever? I could totally see him winning it and then MJF beating Hangman rather than beat Mox. But then again, it is a bigger story if he were to beat Mox.
Yeah, Mox very much feels like the gatekeeper right now.
Big time.
And that promo was very much the measuring stick kind of promo. And then even when Mox went to leave the ring and Hangman called him back, and then Mox was just like, I like to think that there's a bigger context to his watch your mouth.
I watch your mouth. Hey, stop talking shit like the rest of the locker room. That was great. Mox does not give a fuck.
No. All right. Well, thank you for spending your Thursday with us. Here's the socials again. You can find us on the evil Twitter machine at Max Wrestling UK, at the Captain512, and at SMRPodNet. Check out the website, maxwrestling.net, and don't forget to hit the sub or the follow button on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the socials.
That's right.
And now listen up, you pencil neck geeks. This is what Moses has for you this week.
That's right. You guys already heard December the 2nd, 1996. Both Raw and Nitro, almost called SmackDown, is what's going down for the Retro Rees. Bolt Rant right now is unfortunately taking another hiatus. It's school's pain in the butt, but I don't want to stop doing retros. So make sure you're checking out as many of them as you can. The pay-per-view should be out, and then this December the 2nd episode should be dropping on the Mondays, and then we're just going right on down the line. Voting for Wrestler of the Week has been suspended as well. That's going to just be a me thing for the time being. For the few people I've ever been asked about it, I apologize. Again, things are difficult when you want to spread it out through the masses. So, one thing at a time, and the schedule shall get better. Don't forget TikTok. You know what I mean? Max Wrestling UK on the TikTok.
Yeah, don't we know it all about the schedules? There is a new-ish episode of Throne Zone out. I think we've only missed like 2 weeks this season. Hopefully we get to finish off this season with an episode every week, but if not, then we'll do a double up again at some point. But new episode is currently out. Again, it's on the same channel as Max Wrestling. Go check it out right now. It's exclusive to YouTube and the audio platforms, whereas Max Wrestling you get on Facebook.
Yeah, you do.
And with that said, join us next week for, I guess, reactions to Extreme Rules. Hopefully it's as extreme as it looks.
Right.
And we got another stacked week lined up from AEW, so hopefully we can avoid some drama next week.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we will. It's going to be good. It's good stuff.
You've been watching the Cap and Mo. Goodbye. And good night.
Rest in peace to the great one and only Antonio Inoki.
Absolutely.